What up, guys and gals, gals and guys, French and fries? Hey, we have another Fossilizer combo here today, and my man is bad to the bone, straight up. Nothing to atone, and when he's alone, he plays the saxophone. That is unscripted, but I did practice it for like 5 seconds right before I put this video out. I swear to God, nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, this was oh my God. 1 second, because I'm forgetting who I was talking with who requested this build. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to pause this. Okay, I'm back. It was Skyknight Prime. It was Skyknight Prime who I was talking with, and Skyknight was like, "Yo, you ever do what is it? One rack and three paleos?" And I was like, "No, but I definitely like to try." And yeah, after some discussion, this is basically, this is the end result. It took me a bit because I was kind of I shouldn't have been, but I was working I was working on it during my lunch break and stuff like that during work, and it ended up coming together. But boy, he's busy. He's busy like a lot of these builds are, where I'm attempting to use 100% of the parts. And so, but he still came out pretty good. He still came out pretty good. And there are some things that I actually, I don't know. I don't know why it never occurred to me before, but I realized within this build is that I feel like Ractonite was clearly made to be the torso. And that's kind of evident in the Hasbro Gestalt as well, when you see Wingfinger, Rack, and Paleo all together. And as such, he's not as versatile as I would like him to be. Like he's really good at being chunky, meaning he's a good body, he's good arms, good legs, but overall I feel like Paleotrex is far more versatility. And I'm expecting the same thing from Paleotrex's cousin or so, Wingfinger. And although kind of a combiner study on Wingfinger when I get him or her or whatever gender that robot is, transforming their genders, I think they kind of do, right? Like I forget. I'm not much of a TF comic guy, but I think they have some stuff over. Oh yeah, there's like RC and stuff like that. What am I talking about? Anyway, let's get into how to build this guy. Like, dude, I like the colors, and I like the proportions, and but yeah, he's a little bit stiff, but that's cool. That's cool. And how are we gonna break this open? Crack him open in the middle, right? Crack, 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 right down the middle. So yeah, like I said, he's using one rack and three paleos. And let's start with the legs. They're a little bit busy, as this guy is. And you know what? Let's go with... Oh yeah, you're going to see little pieces of paper fly out here and there, because they're in there to basically beef up the fit between the hole and the peg. So these are kind of the legs, and at the top, they're all brought together by the Paleotrex thigh rib piece bit. And so here are what the legs look like. Yeah. It's fine, but like, yeah, usually I try to like have these things attach in more than one spot, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so how do we build this? So the parts that we're going to require is, you're going to need a dinosaur head. You're going to need a buckler. You're going to need the thigh rib cage. You're going to need 2 of the robot calves. You're going to need 1 of the dinosaur hand claws, robot head, and then the blade arm thing, which is really like the dinosaur hip bone or something like that. But let's call it the axe blade, because yeah, let's call it that. Okay. And so the first thing that you'll see is that this is the dinosaur hand with the head plugged in, and it's just kind of like tucked in to like the top of the foot. It's cool for what it's worth, but then, and it beefs up the leg, but really it's just kind of hanging out in there in that particular cavity. But I think it's fine. I actually think it looks good. So you can just pull that out, and you'll see that these are just the Paleotrex legs, the calves plugged in to beef it out. Yeah. And then the leg on the outside has a dino claw plugged in with that head plugged in, and you just fold that piece all down like that. And so you can remove that. That's just the blade bit, and that blade bit is hugged, sandwiched between the ribs, and the port up at the top is what connects, is the basically knee port, and it connects to the thighs. So anyway, get the blade out of the way. And so in terms of how this is configured, it's just the dinosaur head, and you angle it like so. Put the buckler in the back, and it stands on the head, sometimes the buckler, but really the head and that peg right there. Then there's that little brown there's a middle brown peg over here, or sorry, hole where you plug in the Paleotrex thighs. And like I said earlier, you force the thighs to hug the blade, plug in the robot calves at the top of the, or at the knee joint area of the Paleotrex ribcage thighs. And then in one of them, you have the dino hand, fold it around, and that's it. And that's it. And that's how the legs look on each side. See? See, oh no, there you go. And those are the legs, so I'm going to put them to the side, yep. We're going to look at the top bit. The top bit is where it gets a little hectic. I kind of like these shoulder parts here. I think they're nasty, like messy nasty, but also like nasty, and like they look kind of like fearsome and stuff like that. So these are the forearms. And so the first forearm is just paleo dino head with its buckler, and then the entire rack, hip, leg, contraption thing just plugged into the top of Paleotrex's head. I didn't have anywhere else to put it, so it's just kind of there. That's fine. It actually acts like a shield to some degree. And I was thinking about maybe doing that too, but for now, I think this is good enough. And that is forearm, right forearm. Left forearm is made up of the blade bit, and we have two of the paleo calves plugged in, and then one head is up here just because it has nowhere else to go. But on the bottom, I really like this cache of like different types of weapons. You know, you have the one type of Paleotrex, or sorry, a Racto tail, which is like a spear, and then the Paleo tail, which is maybe like a gun because it has like a flatter edge, and then this mace or something like that, and it can all like move around. And dude, I like that a lot, dude. Maybe I have overactive imagination, but I don't know. I like this arm. So yeah, left and right arm, as so. Oops, as so. Yeah, let me move these off to the side. In terms of how the torso looks, this is the combiner head that I've been using in a lot of my videos, and that's just dino rack head, just plugged into the back, that little hole behind the head. That's it. That's it. I'm going to put this to the side. So the arms. The arms, if we just pop them out, yeah, it's a little bit messy. And a lot of it is just, things are just wrapped around. Let me pause this for a second so I can figure out a coherent way to articulate how this is done. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I was studying this, and you know what? Even I'm proud of how this came together. And if you're wondering why, like, hey, how come he forgets how he put this together? I mean, it's because a lot of these builds I actually put together the previous night, and they're just kind of sitting around and until I find time to like record them. And so sometimes I just have to retrace my steps. So the most important thing over here is actually this part. This is the bicep where we are plugging in the arm. And so this bicep needs to be firm. See how this is not moving? See how it's not moving? It needs to be firm. All up in there like the swimwear. It needs to be in there. And so what we're doing is we're sandwiching this piece. Let's call it the top of the tail. We're sandwiching the top of the tail between a Paleotrex claw and a Ractonite small foot. If you're familiar with the rack, you know he has that hole on the inside of the leg, and you know that Paleotrex, the claw, the dino claw, the claw. Let's just call it the claw. It also has a hole right there. And the top of the tail has two pegs protruding. And so the reason I'm not taking it out and just explaining it is these things plug into a lot of different areas. And so anyway, the main focus is sandwiching these things, sandwiching the top of the tail between these two parts. And the parts that you're going to need in total are two paleo dino hands, one big rack leg, one small rack leg, top of the paleo tail, and then the paleo tail itself. And so you can start like unwrapping this. And so if you take a look at this rack leg, you can see it's plugged in at 2 points. One point is here. The back peg plugs into the hole from the small rack leg, which rotates around, and like I said, is the outer casing for the bicep. And at the top of the big rack leg, you're plugging in the paleo claw. And then the other paleo claw also plugs into the hole in the first paleo claw that I mentioned. And so take a look at that. So it's connected here to the tail, it's connected here to the other claw, and it's connected here to the big foot, and the big foot is then connected to the small rack leg by that piece right there. And the small rack leg flips around, and then it plugs into the top of the tail. So everything basically pretty much has 2 points of connection, and then you just kind of fold everything down, and then it's just a really solid piece. Those double connections, triple connections, if you can even manage, that's really what stabilizes your build. You know, otherwise, you know, it's just going to be a Jenga tower to some extent. Yeah. And so I hope I explained that well enough. You basically sandwich that bicep between the small rack leg, paleo claw, and everything just plugs into everywhere. I probably didn't do a good job of explaining that, but please try to follow along and watch the video. And again, if I didn't do a good job, just let me know. Just holler. But yeah, just and I'll do my best to explain. So that's him right there, right? And then we plug in that the thigh pieces. Then we start plugging in the robot leg. The calves, the beefcake calves, start fiddling with the fit and the finish. Make sure the styles don't diminish. Plug the head back in. Man, I really like that. Man, I can't wait to get wing finger. FedEx was supposed to arrive today, but they're going to be here tomorrow, and so I'll have to wait. But kind of killed my evening, you know. I was... I'm all like overly depressed about it. Because I was updating, it's like on its way. It's like, not available tomorrow. I'm like, man, whatever, dude. I'm sure they're doing their best, or I'm assuming they are. But yeah, that's single rack, triple paleo, and I hope you like this tutorial. I hope you like this build. Thanks Skynet Prime for suggesting this. And yeah, my name's Agent Orange, and you are wonderful. I appreciate you watching, subbing, liking, sharing, and evangelizing our creativity and our right to enjoy our toys and have fun in whatever way we want, as long as we're not hurting anyone. You know what I'm saying? Hey, as long as you're not hurting anyone, I feel like that's the rule of the game. You should be allowed to do whatever you want in this life, as long as you ain't hurting or impeding upon another person's right to do that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's that. Oh, what a cool pose. But yeah, that's that. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, talk to you all soon. Have a great day or evening, weekend, or whenever you're watching this. Peace out.